All right, this is Pastor Vinci here, obviously, and I just wanted to give you a thought for this Friday morning. We're going to try to be ramping up video production and doing more videos, hopefully on a daily basis, if not a daily basis, every other day at least. And just wanted to talk to anybody listening, obviously, but also our church people, and just give you a thought for today, for this Friday. You know, the Bible talks about getting our daily bread, right? And sometimes we need something from the Bible. Well, not sometimes, every time. We need something from the Bible every day. And, you know, Jesus said when he was being tempted of Satan, you know, that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the heart of God. And so, you know, just a quick thought here for today. Genesis chapter 50, very last chapter of Genesis chapter 50, verses 19 through 21. And Joseph said unto them, Fear not, for am I in the place of God? But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive. Now therefore fear ye not, I will nourish you and your little ones. And he comforted them and spake kindly unto them. You know, in this, the context of this passage, if you're unfamiliar with the story, is at the very end of Genesis here, Joseph, who had been sold into slavery by his brothers, now everything's come full circle. And he's been there for many years. The famine in Egypt has come, and his father has died. And so his brothers now are fearful that now that his father is dead, that their father is dead, that Joseph is going to take out vengeance on his brothers for, you know, for selling him into slavery in the first place. And so they come after their father dies, they are gripped with this fear. And there's a lot of people, you know, to make the application early in the devotion, there's a lot of people right now that I think are gripped with fear. Maybe it's fear over the virus, getting sick. Maybe it's, you know, I tend to sense that there's more fear over the financial impact of this whole thing. You know, nobody has reached out to me in our church that they have been laid off or anything along those lines. And if you have, and if you need anything, please reach out to us and we'll do the best we can to try to take care of each other during this time of crisis. I want us to reach out and stay in contact and take care of each other. And if you don't have social media, let me encourage you to get social media. I know that's an out-of-the-box thing for some people, but honestly, these are out-of-the-box times, and this is a great time to connect with each other and to connect with the community abroad, share our church videos and different things along those lines. So anyway, back to the devotion. Joseph, his father is dead, his brethren are afraid, and they come to him, fall down at his feet and say, Please have mercy on us. And Joseph responds with an epic response. I love his response. He says, hey, you thought it evil. You know, you thought that what you were doing to me was evil, but God meant it for good. And I'm not, you know, Joseph had the attitude with all the stuff that he went through. If you know his life, if you know the story of his life, Joseph went through a lot. And at the end of the story in Genesis chapter 50, that is the epitaph that Joseph puts on his entire life. Of course, he's not ready to die yet, but at this point. But he's older now, and he's gone through a lot. And at the end of his life, he says, Brethren, you thought it evil. You know, you thought what you were doing to me was evil. But God took your evil intentions and completely twisted it around 180 degrees and turned it into your salvation, turned it into good. Now, I love that mindset. I love that spirit. And sometimes, I'll be honest, it's a spirit that I struggle to have sometimes. But the thought for today is, yes, is this thing bad? Yes. Are a lot of bad things happening? No doubt. People are dying. People are losing their jobs. The economy is tanking. You know, different things along those lines. And what I think is the most scary is the fear of the unknown, because nobody knows, exactly when this is going to be over. Nobody knows the total impact that it's going to have. And so there's a lot of fear right now, a lot of fear. And you don't need me to tell you that. But here's the thing, and here's the silver lining, is that as Christians, we know that ultimately God is in control. And this is what Joseph realized. This is the control on Joseph's mind and heart that he had placed there himself, is the understanding that God is in control through this whole thing. And what may be, some people are saying, well, this virus was intended, or there's conspiracy theories and different things like that. Whether or not that's true, that's not the point. The point is that there is a lot of fear out there right now. And whether it's intended or not, this thing is meant for, as we would look at it, and all the evil things that are happening, all the bad things that are happening, it's very easy to come to the conclusion that everything is bad. Is there anything good out there right now? Is there any good news? And you have to scour the internet for a while to try to find some good news through this whole thing, because there's a lot of bad stuff. And the point that I'm trying to make is that we serve a God, and take this thought with you today. We serve a God that's big enough. He's big enough to take any bad thing that happens and turn it into good. I mean, he is an expert at doing that. There's so many stories in the Bible, that show us that God can take broken eggs and make an omelet. God can take lemons and make a lemonade. And the ultimate story is the story of redemption, the story of the crucifixion, where it looks like Christ's life ends in ultimate defeat. And then God takes it and not only raises Christ back from the dead, but also in the process redeems all of mankind through that. He takes ultimate defeat and turns it into ultimate victory. And so I know that things may be bad, and I know that we may be afraid, but we have the promise from Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. So the question is do you fit in that group? Are you the called according to his purpose? Are you a member of God's family, and are you completely submitted to him today? Hey, look, when you go out, if you're working today, if you're not holed up inside and you're out on the job, smile at everybody you see today. If you go out for anything, if you have to pull down your mask and smile, I do that. But people need it. People need that. Just you imagine, some people are desperate and fearful, and just a smile can encourage somebody. And if you have a chance to have a conversation, talk to them about how you serve a God that is the God of ultimate victory. He can take what looks like ultimate defeat. He can take something that looks so bad and turn it into something so good and something so awesome. And so I hope that you'll take that thought of encouragement today and have that excellent spirit that Joseph had. These Bible characters that we read about, they went through a lot. And no doubt right now we're all going through a lot. And as we study their lives, we're able to look at how they were able to get victory, and how the Lord was able to come through. You realize that there is, it's kind of boring to watch a sports game, and I know there's no sports on right now, but it's kind of boring to watch a team get blown out, a basketball team get blown out by 50 points. Nobody wants to see that. What's really interesting is when it's trading points for point. It's really close. Or, it's the Super Bowl with it's tied with 7 seconds left, and the quarterback, fades back and throws a Hail Mary bomb, and the guy catches it with one arm in the end zone and totally scores. And, it's an epic victory because it's so close. And honestly, I think in order sometimes for God to get the glory, sometimes things have to get bad. And then God's people come through. They shine forth his love. God gets the glory through this whole thing. And I'm not saying things aren't bad. I'm not trying to downplay things. There's a lot of bad things going on. But when it's the darkest, that's when we have a time to light a candle. And you can curse the darkness or you can light a candle today. And I hope that you'll light the candle of the gospel. Have a good day. God bless you. We love you. And let us know if you need anything here at the church. You can call my cell, text my cell, email us at the church, call the church. faithnewyork.com is our website. And stay safe and stay healthy out there. Bye-bye.